DLC 8 is out and I haven't made a video milking the hell out of Gogeta yet, so let's do that. Let's find out how to unlock all of his supers and his Super Soul, and clothes as well. First, you're going to start on Parallel Quest 129, Frieza Force on the Hunt, which unlocks the following moves. Spirit Blaster, which is a pretty okay move, doesn't do a lot of damage, and Punisher Shield, which deploys a shield in front of you that blocks Ki Blast attacks, sending one back and snapping behind them, delivering a kick in the back of their head. For Parallel Quest 129, the ultimate finish conditions are that you defeat Gotenks and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta and clear with any NPC over 50% health. You have 2 Frieza ranked soldiers with you, so either one of them could be over 50%. And unlike the Broly themed Parallel Quest, I really enjoyed these Gogeta ones. They're quite interesting, they've got quite a nice angle, they've got that kind of what-if fan-fiction-y kind of element to them, which I enjoy in Parallel Quests. So you're going to start off fighting Piccolo and Krillin, because they're going to try and stop you getting the Dragon Balls to Frieza. Just take them out as quickly as possible. Super Souls that replenish a lot of Ki, like Goku's one, was it I Wish You'd Come Back as Someone Good Next Time, that can be really useful. Moves that use a lot of Ki quickly, like Revenge Death Ball and Frieza's move, Emperor's Death Beam, are really good. Broly's new ultimate's really good, anything that deals a lot of damage quickly. After defeating Krillin and Piccolo, you'll be able to go to the next area and you'll fight against Goten and Trunks. They're pretty much pushovers. All of the people in these parallel quests, there's a lot of different enemies, but they're all relatively, normal in health and defense. They're not anything special, so you can pretty much get rid of them with a well-placed ultimate with a really high damage key main character. So, there's nothing really difficult about them. It's just there's a lot of enemies instead of really hard ones to fight. So it's not that hard, and it's actually not that much of a problem to grind these missions out. Even though grind is annoying, but like I say, they're not super hard to beat. After you defeat these two, you'll get new enemies coming, which will be Goku and Vegeta. So get rid of them both as humiliatingly as possible, or as hilariously as possible. Oh, Gigantic Rage is an amazing move. If you haven't already seen my unlock guide for Broly's moves, you have to go get Gigantic Rage. It's so satisfying to just slam the enemy around. And I've found a lot of utility in using Drain Charge in these parallel quests, because the enemy can't use any supers and you have a lot more health. And speaking of health, it's good to bring some health recovery regen items for you and your whole team. After you defeat them both, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Goku will then fly in, get rid of them both as quickly as possible once again. This is going to be a running theme throughout these parallel quests. Not a single enemy is going to be amped up like the Broly missions. It's just pretty much, here's all your enemies, get rid of them, and it's a nice welcome change. I enjoy that. I don't like fighting souped up enemies, I just like fighting lots of people. It's more enjoyable. After you defeat Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta, Gotenks will spawn in with Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, which is quite nice because you're going to have to fight Gogeta in the end of these missions as well, as you'd expect from the whole Broly and Gogeta themed DLC. And it's nice having them both in these missions because it reminds me a lot of the Tenkaichi 3 Raging Blast's what-if scenarios that you used to get in the kind of mission skill tree, or that kind of thing, where you'd be able to take on alternate and hypothetical what-if stories, which is what these parallel quests really should be. They shouldn't be mirroring the story. We've already had the story. I mean, not for this, but you know what I mean anyway. It should be made-up battles that are kind of spins on things we've already had. After you defeat both of these enemies, the next portal will open up, you'll go to space. If you've managed to clear it with over 50% health of at least one NPC, then you'll trigger the rest of the mission to go ahead. Look how close Paul is to getting below 50. I think he's dead on 50. How lucky was this time? Anyway, Gotenks will come back in, but with Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta this time. Honestly, when I did this the first few times, I didn't actually realise it was Gogeta and not Vegito. They look so similar, except for the clothes, but anyway, just get rid of them both. Gogeta's weakness with his new ultimate is pretty apparent. He goes straight forward and throws 2 Ki Balls that don't home very well. Getting around the initial hit or blocking them is not difficult. The real difficult thing is if he actually hits you with it and then that torrent of Ki Blasts is just coming your way. There's not much you can do about it. Get rid of both of them, and he drops, I'm pretty sure when Gogeta gets down on this part of the mission, he drops his clothes. There's random Super Souls that drop throughout, but I'm fairly certain this is where the clothes drop. If not at the very end of the mission, but he dropped something. It's definitely not his Super Soul, because this time I didn't get his Super Soul, so it's most likely his clothes. But that's the best I can figure out. That's what makes sense. Annoyingly, on this mission, you don't get the skill drop icons. You have to do the ultimate finish of the mission to get it. You don't know if you have to restart the mission because you didn't get it or not. You just have to finish with the ultimate finish and see if you got it. So it can be pretty grindy that way to continuously finish the match over and over again, start to finish. But eventually, you'll get the drop. Next, we're going to go into Parallel Quest 131, Fight of the Fusions, Vegito vs Gogeta. And this is to unlock the excellent super move, Assault Vanish, which basically just teleports you behind the enemy, allowing for super easy stamina breaks. The ultimate finish conditions are to clear this in under 10.5 minutes, which is really easy actually, it's not difficult, and defeat Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta and Vegito, which again, it's not hard, don't worry, there's no problem here. So the temptation here is to go after Whis because he's an enemy. He has auto dodge on every single possible move, Ki Blasts, strikes, basic attack. Don't waste your time, you're not actually here to fight Whis, just power up, transform, get all of your ki, and wait for the new supporter to come in, which is Vegito. And then he flies away again. So basically, the point of this is that Vegito and Gogeta are going to warm up before their main fight. So you have to go to 2 different portals. And really, it doesn't matter which one you go through, pick and choose, they're both the same. You're not really going to have one that's harder than the other. There's a lot of enemies in both of them, so don't worry about which one to go through first. Just get rid of them all as quickly as possible. Again, here moves like Revenge Death Ball, Emperor's Death Beam are extremely good because the enemies have their normal amount of defense and health, so you can get rid of them really quickly. Ki Blast mains are extremely good for this parallel quest, and also let's just appreciate how super overkill this clip is. Like, how many ultimates hit Boo in this one 10-second frame? Overkill to the extreme. After defeating everyone, or a certain amount of time goes by, you'll have Merge Zamasu flying with Buhan. This can happen in the middle of the other fight, so if you don't get rid of the other enemies quick enough, then you will get them spawning as well, and you'll have more enemies to fight. So another reason to get these matches over and done with as quickly as possible. Something I found quite useful with the Frieza race character using Divinity Unleashed, charging up one single ki bar, using your charged Ki Blast to then get another 2 ki bars, use Revenge Death Ball, charge up all of your ki, and just waste the last enemy. It's really efficient, really quick, and really clean. And it's a really easy to move hit with, so, you know, it does speed the mission up quite substantially, I found. The next area is a fight against Ice Shenron and Nova Shenron, 2 of the Shadow Dragons from Dragon Ball GT, as well as Janemba. Not quite sure why they're all there together, but they are. After a certain amount of time, Omega Shenron will spawn in, so if you don't get rid of at least one person by then, you'll have a 4th enemy to get rid of. And that can be quite annoying, because they will randomly attack you and switch opponents, so be ready for that. It is kind of annoying, but you know, it makes the game a little bit more fast-paced and difficult, so whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Just get rid of them all as quickly as you can. None of them are going to drop any substantial things. They might drop a Super Soul, I'm not sure. I don't think any of them dropped anything. Actually, looking at this back while I'm editing and recording this, I'm extremely certain they don't drop anything, because I've been watching it over and over again. I remember doing these gameplays. I just played this mission as well. Nah, they don't give you anything. So from each area, you've got Vegito and Gogeta helping you, and once you clear them, they'll fly off. And then once you've done both areas, you'll go back to Kami's Lookout. They'll both fly in. Surprise, surprise, you've got to fight both of them at the same time. Which, it sounds difficult, but really it's not. Again, Emperor's Death Beam, 2 full health bars gone in 1 ultimate. It's pretty stupid overpowered. After a certain amount of time, Broly will fly in with Kefla, which is really nice as well. I like how they've done this. This parallel quest is way better than the Broly ones. Drain Charge is really useful if you're going to use a lot of key expenditure moves like Emperor's Death Beam, Revenge Death Ball, Divinity Unleashed as well. Just keep the ki going, keep the damage up, and just output as much damage as possible, really, is the best advice I can possibly give you on this parallel quest, because you fight so many enemies, and you're going to have a lot of attacks going their way, so something that does a lot of damage like Spirit Bomb is really useful. Look at that cheeky attack. I'm not sure what Broly drops there. It's one of the Super Souls. I don't know which one, because I got 2 in this match. Now, you will get the drop that you want from Gogeta, but this is not where it happens. You have to get the ultimate finish portion of the mission, and I'm fairly certain that there's no way he's going to drop it there. This is a good time to pop a health regen as well for you and your entire team, so that you can use the cutscene and added time to charge up and fly through the gate to get some more health back. For the final confrontation in the sky, where you fight Gogeta and Vegito one more time, but without Kefla or Broly interrupting, so actually it's easier. Is the best way I can explain it. It's actually easier than the bit you've just done. I mean, they don't fight harder, they don't have more health, they don't have more defense. It's just easier, really. But again, Emperor's Death Beam wastes 2 health bars in one go. So really, there's no problem. It's just a long mission with lots of enemies, but none of it's hard. It's actually refreshing. And double Revenge Death Ball for the win, even though it didn't kill him. Whatever. And the ultimate finish, there it is. What did we get? And it's time for sweet, sweet victory. And Christmas. And if you're going after Gogeta Super Soul, he is definitely the one that drops it. This is a clip from the last gameplay I recorded, and the computers defeat Gogeta, and there it is, there his equipment Super Soul drops. So if the Super Soul is the last thing that you have to get, like me, go after Gogeta. If you don't get it, then restart the mission. I mean, is it really difficult to defeat Vegito? Not really, but it's time wasted, really. Unless you want to get the TP medals, which you're going to need for the ridiculous price of the new costumes. So, do what you want, really. And his Super Soul, Leave the Rest to Me, will give you key auto recovery when you start the match and restore all of your ki, which is pretty nice. I think it's quite useful, could find utility in that. And here is the main thing you came for. Gogeta's ultimate move, God Punisher, is right at the end of the video so I can get more watch time. But anyway, it's Parallel Quest 132, the ultimate legendary Super Saiyan, which is also where you get Broly's ultimate move, Gigantic Roar, and you have to clear with Broly's health over 50% and defeat the new Super Saiyan Broly from the Dragon Ball Super movie. When you start the match, just fly to the bottom, power up and transform. You're going to have a lot of dialogue and a lot of time to charge up your ki, so don't waste it by thinking the match is about to start. Once both of the gates open, go to the one directly behind you at the bottom of the map, because that has the most amount of enemies. You have to clear this with Broly's health over 50%, and really you have to babysit him this entire match if you want to get the ultimate finish. Annoyingly, this is really irritating, but anyway, he goes after Goten first and then Trunks. He doesn't really go after Beerus, so prioritize those two enemies first. And really just look at what Broly's doing, hang back a bit, and he will follow you as well. If you hang back, he will then hang back with you, so don't just go after some random person and forget what Broly's doing, because then he'll take a lot of damage and you've got to restart the mission. After you defeat those enemies, then Whis will drop in with Piccolo. Piccolo, for whatever strange reason, woke up on the wrong side of the bed. He is just always extremely aggressive towards Broly, like an unhealthy amount of aggression. I'm not sure why that is, maybe he's salty about the original Broly movie, who knows. Go after Piccolo first, unless he's not going after Broly, which is pretty much never. But like I said before, just babysit Broly, fight whoever he's fighting, and whoever's trying to fight him, get rid of that person as soon as possible. Broly's health is the main thing, you can't regen it, so babysit him as best you can. After defeating Piccolo and Whis, go back through the gate and go through the second gate that opened at the beginning of the match. Broly and Kefla will then fly at each other extremely quickly. Just go after Kefla. He's pretty much 100% of the time goes straight after her and she goes after him. And she has the same weakness as Broly in that you can easily vanish behind her and stamina break her if they try use their ultimates against you when you're close. Cubba's pretty weak in this, so even if he does go after Broly, he can pretty much handle himself. It's just Kefla you just gotta get rid of. After you've done both of those gates, the third one will open to the Glacier. There you'll be able to go and fight the last of your opponents. Broly will make a straight beeline towards Broly from this Dragon Ball Super movie. He doesn't stay attached to him. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. It's one of those where you've just got to go and attack Broly because Broly is, and then after a certain amount of time he might change his mind. You don't know. Just pay attention. Goku and Vegeta will both turn Super Saiyan throughout this match, so don't waste your time with super high ki ultimates because they will cut you off and it will be quite annoying. You'll have to recharge your ki. Get rid of both of them as soon as you can, but again, just whoever's fighting Broly and whoever he's fighting, prioritize that person. Use all of your health regen on yourself and your team to make sure that any damage you take while trying to protect Broly is recovered, because ultimately you can get up, you can get revived, you can heal, but he can't, and he's the one who you need to be over 50% to get the damn move in the first place. So it's time to babysit a legendary Super Saiyan, because that's apparently what we're doing now. This is also in my Broly guide I did quite recently, and this is where Vegito and Goku drop their new Super Souls if you're interested in getting those as well. And the two times that you fight Goku and Vegeta, you fight them twice. I'm fairly certain you can get the Super Souls from them from both of those times. So if you really want them, you've got two chances to get both Super Souls, which is quite nice. It's quite nice that they've done that. I'm quite pleased because it minimises at least some of the grind. After you've defeated all the enemies, Broly will get up, go berserk, and turn into a supervillain. At which point, then in comes Gogeta, and he's going to fight with Broly. Not sure why. And this is the main part, this is the reason you came here. Defeating Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Gogeta will drop his ultimate. If you don't get it from beating him now, you're not going to get it. Restart the mission. I mean, you got one enemy left. You can beat Broly if you want to get the TP medals, but that's what you came for. You got skill. Yes, we do. Get the ultimate finish, and then you're going to wait for that sweet drop, that sweet taste, that sweet smell, that sweet feeling of absolute victory. Well, thank you very much for putting up with me talking non-stop for 15 minutes. This was a pretty long one and hard to record, hard to film. I also done a similar guide on how to unlock all of Broly's content if you're interested in that. So I will leave that in the link in the description, and it'll be in the same playlist as this if you want to go see how to unlock Broly's stuff. I also done one on how to unlock the first 3 supervillain moves, Rage Saucer, Bloody Sauce, and Marbling Drop. Again, in the description, probably going to be on the end card of this video. Who knows, I might do, I might forget. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. The full guide on how to use Gogeta and Broly will be coming as soon as I can possibly do them, but with Christmas coming up, might be a bit delayed. But until then, stay tuned for the next exciting episode of AxoniusRex.